Hello, beautiful viewers. Welcome back to the Dancing Oracle with Najia. I'm going to do a pick-a-card reading because it has been requested to do more pick-a-cards on romance. I had several people write to me and ask for how will their current relationship go, or their current guy they're dating. So that's what I'm going to do right now. These are people that are, sounded like pretty much everybody that wrote to me was in a newer relationship. I'm not sure about the one person, but she was really curious about her relationship and how it was going to go. And I'm going to do a 3-card reading on current situation and some advice and the probable outcome. And how this works is there are 4 piles of cards, or there's 4 objects, and 4 oracle cards specifically on romance. And the way this works is you will focus on the object and see what you're drawn to, or maybe even the number. Are you resonating with number 1, 2, 3, or 4? You may be drawn to just liking a certain number, or the placement of the number. Or you may be tantalized by what I actually have here is a beautiful moonstone necklace. So you might be all fascinated by that and drawn to reading number 1 with the moonstone. You may really love crystal balls, and there's a little charming quartz crystal ball here in number 2. Or you may be a mermaid at heart, or a sea goddess, or you might like pink opals. And this beautiful handmade sea goddess, actually she's really a mermaid because there's her tail. If we can see that tail. Let's see. That mermaid. You may be drawn to her. Or that fiery pink opal in the center. That may tug at you a certain way. Or you may feel like you resonate with Middle Eastern culture, or the hand of Fatima, the hand of protection. So I want you to just think about that before I start to do a tarot card reading along with the oracle. I'm going to be shuffling the cards for now, just general shuffling. And you think about which pile you would like. You're going to ask my guides to connect with your guides to bring the answers that you seek for your highest good. That's how this works. And the idea is, like, whatever one you pick, that reading is meant for you. And so far, everyone has emailed, texted me, Facebook messaged me, and even written in the comments how spot on these readings were for them. And that really surprised me, because I normally do in-person readings or on the phone readings, or Zoom readings, and I'm connecting to that person like right in front of me, or their voice, But to do this type of pick-a-card reading is new for me, and this was suggested by Joyce of All Knowing Tarot. I am taking a tarot enhancement class starting this Sunday, September 12th. And I believe she may still have some slots open. So if you're already a reader and you would like a deeper understanding of tarot, I really recommend Joyce. She's wonderful. She's a wonderful mentor. And she does do reversals, and she gets into the astrology behind the tarot, the symbolisms. So that's what we're going to go take a deeper dive in there. And I hope that you'll be in our class together. You know, if you're already a reader, a lot of people that are tuning in are already readers, because readers love to watch other readers. All right, so I am going to take away the other piles, and we are going to focus on number one. All right, number one, for whoever is picking number one. So I want you to think about your relationship right now, and you're going to concentrate on our guides connecting to each other, and just knowing that if you're watching this video, knowing that you're meant to see it. There's a message here for you, and you're going to get something out of this. If you're seeking an answer, you're going to be getting an answer to your questions, or whatever knowledge you need to know about your relationship and how it's going to go, or any advice, just some insight into your life and into your relationships. Or this may just be fun to watch. This is an entertainment only channel. I must say that as disclosure for various reasons on YouTube. So I'm going to cut the pile, and I do use my right hand. Most readers use their left, but I use my right. I don't know why, but the right hand intuitively always feels right to me. And my left hand intuitively it feels off. So we have, oh my goodness, we have the Five of Swords in reverse for the current situation. And we have the Nine of Swords in reverse for kind of like some advice, okay? What to do. And for the outcome, we have the Wheel of Fortune. That Wheel of Fortune is the halfway point in the major arcana. All right, so for the Five of Swords reversed, we are doing love readings, and we are working with swords, which, you know, they kind of are sharp, you know, they can hurt. And swords are an air element, and they are working with communication. And I am seeing, in the current situation, I am seeing a lot of stormy clouds. First thing, because it's upside down, I'm noticing how difficult the sky is, and it's just been a battle. And maybe you're feeling a little battle weary in whatever's going on, and the communication is not going well. There is maybe a war of words, and you're just picking up the pieces, picking up the good parts, and the other person involved. And maybe there's actually three of you in the relationship. Maybe there is a third party, but in general, or maybe there's could be a child, could be another person that's not necessarily somebody that your partner's interested or you're interested in, but maybe there's a child that is, you know, maybe some of the harshness that's going on is because of that. You know, there may not be working out as well, because not everybody does well with somebody who already has a child. So you'll have to, these are general readings for a wide audience, so you may just kind of decide where this fits in. And we have like the waters are kind of calming down from some turbulence, and they're just kind of starting to heal and calm down, and kind of walking away. And there's a lot of blockages going on in this relationship because it is reversed. Now, the next card is the Nine of Swords, and it's like the dark night of the soul, but it is reversed where the swords can kind of leave you. And to me, when I see the Nine of Swords reversed, I see a lot of the darkness is going to relieve itself, and the swords are fading away, and you're through the worst of it. And this is a card of being alone. You know, it is a 9. 9 has a lot to do with isolation. And you may have been feeling really isolated and just not being able to sleep. But know that things will turn around, because this is reversed. It will start to turn. And then the final outcome, it is saying it is turning. It is turning. And we have the Wheel of Fortune. And that is telling you, and it's in an upright position, by the way, and it's a major arcana. It's a very important card to get. You are dealing with major arcana. You've got the Wheel of Fortune. This is destiny. And this is saying that you have a possible new destiny on the horizon. Or you're halfway through this deck. This is like the halfway point, number 10. And 10s translate into 1s, a new beginning, because 10, 1 plus 0, equals 1. So 10s translate back to the number 1, which is a new beginning. But it could also be a new beginning within the current relationship. Maybe they're battle weary, enough words are spoken. So if you've picked the Moonstone, if you were transfixed by that, let me know how this reading, if it's spot on for you, if it resonates with you in any way. And I would love to hear your comments. All right, so next, I am going to reshuffle the cards, and we are going to do the second crystal. And by the way, stay through to the end for your final oracle message. Right now I'm doing tarot, and I have a message for each of you. For each of you, all right? So we are going to shuffle the cards for that person that picked the crystal ball, the quartz crystal ball. And oh, by the way, I don't think I mentioned it earlier. Please hit the like button if you're enjoying this session, and subscribe if you haven't already. It doesn't cost anything to subscribe, and please feel free to share this with your friends. Watch some of my other videos. There's quite a variety recently within this topic, and in the past my channel was more of a lifestyle, goddess lifestyle, how to be a living goddess. And it's kind of going into the intuitive realm to help assist everybody with a lot of changes we're going through in life. All right, so the first card is the World. Now, this is number 21. It's the end of the deck. It could mean a few things, okay? So this one could mean you're at the end of a cycle, end of a relationship, because it's the end of the major arcana. It's the last card in the major arcana. But it also carries a lot of success with it. It's got the laurel wreath of victory. It's got the dancer, and she's holding these, powerful magical staffs, and it is a joyous card. So if for some reason you are at the end of the cycle of the relationship, you will be happy about it, okay? And the next card is some advice. Oh, look at this. This is very interesting when you put these two cards together, because this is the World and this is the World. Very, very interesting. So it looks like you have some choices, and you are choosing this new path in the world. Oh, I also forgot to mention that the World card, I kind of got this sometimes with somebody that might be in another part of the world, by the way, if you're having a long distance relationship. And there seems to be, I'm drawn to the fact that there's two staffs here, and there's two wands here. And that maybe when I blend these cards together and I kind of go into the advice, that you may be torn, you may have been torn to make a choice at one point, and you are choosing to go in the direction of maybe someone that's a bit further away from you, maybe overseas, because we have the land here, or definitely, you know, some distance. And that may be what your choice is, and it looks like you're choosing to go with someone who's a little bit further. And this could also be someone very enterprising as well. And the outcome is, wow, this is a 6, which has a lot to do with being responsible and victory. You know, this is a victory card of the wands. We have a lot of wands in this reading, but when it's reversed, it's kind of like, yeah, it's successful, but at what cost? So kind of maybe sometimes when I see this card in reverse, I feel like maybe you sacrificed some of your idealism for the final outcome, but it is still a victorious card. You know, if it were totally upright, it would be complete victory. And I've heard a lot of readers say, you know, when it's reversed, at what cost have you had to fight for this victory? So yeah, let me know how that goes. Now, again, stay tuned to the end. This is a very short pick a card reading, so it will not go on too long, and you can stay on for number 2's final oracle, okay? And the next, number 3, is for those of you who picked the Mermaid Sea Goddess, okay? The beautiful mermaid. And think about, again, if you're with me right now, in spirit, right? There is no real thing as time. If we, time is just a third dimensional construct here on planet Earth. But if you study physics at all, I mean, it's just a dimension we live in. And in reality, everything is happening at once in many dimensions. At least that's what science says, okay? So even though this is pre-recorded, a part of you is here with me now in spirit, focusing on my shuffling of the cards. I have one more intuitively to do before I cut the deck for you. And this is about a current love, a current love interest, right? And the card I got, the first card I got of the current situation is the 8 of Cups reversed. And normally when the 8 of Cups is upright, you had a lot of love, a lot of emotional fulfillment at one point, but you've decided to move on to higher ground. But when it's reversed, it's not as positive. So you may be feeling like all the love has run out, and you're working with the darkness of the night and just going by the light of the moon, and kind of in a fog, you know. But you're still trying to regain your power. This symbol of the wearing the red has a lot to do with empowerment. 8s have a lot to do with empowerment, but you're really, in this reading, because it's reversed, you're not feeling empowered. It as in walking away from this relationship that you're are considering walking away from, or you have walked away from it or in the process. It's not feeling good to you right now, okay? You're normally the Queen of Wands, all right? You are psychic. You have the black cat, you have the wands, you have that fire energy, you have the crown, you are intelligent, you are magical. But right now your power is kind of being, or someone that you're dealing with, perhaps someone that you're dealing with is kind of acting up and kind of causing a lot of commotion. So what's happening is a lot of, I guess, the positive word would be feistiness, but really, creating a lot of fire energy, a lot of problems. So there's a female, for the most part, this is female energy, or someone that has female energy and that's not happy, and trying to figure out a way to deal with those feelings and turn it around. And the final outcome is the number 7 of Wands. It's really a battle to try to fight something off, to hold your ground. And that's the final outcome. Like, yeah, you're working it. You're holding that ground. You're holding on to something, else. I'm not sure exactly what you're holding on to, but there's a part of you that is really ready to walk away, and it's very sad, and you're unhappy. So when this one is kind of in the what to do advice, when I'm seeing this feisty person, it doesn't have like it's actually like kind of a negative, but it may be someone that really needs to show their fire. Like, it's kind of saying, maybe show your fire and speak up, because and show your power, because right now it's not in the powerful position. So it's kind of maybe saying like, hey, let's turn this around and show your power. All right. So the last one, because I don't want this to go on too long, just keep these quick readings so everyone can see everything and kind of see what message is there for you. If you've chosen the hand of protection, the hand of Fatima, this one is for you. Okay? Let me put this out of sight. Out of sight. Out of sight. All right. And I want you to focus on this, and I want you to focus on my guides and your guides connecting and feeling that there is a message here for you. There is a message for you. And you want to think about what you need to hear, what you need to know. And these are general readings for everybody, wide range of audience. They're not specific, but there might be something I'm saying and it will just spark something inside of you. And that's what you need to listen to. Something that resonates with you. What am I saying that hits you and resonates with you? All right? Because you might even get something out of more than one reading. That's also why I think I'm being guided tonight for everyone to listen through to the end for the oracle reading, because I have a feeling there's more than one message for some of you, and you may need to hear, may be divided between a couple readings and things you've chosen. And I normally never do this, but I'm drawn to do it. All right, so we have a male, most likely a male, perhaps an Aries, and he's very powerful, or it could be a female that has these qualities of the Emperor, but right now this Emperor is not acting like a good ruler, okay, a good leader. So this is somebody who's kind of like turning his emperor qualities on its head and maybe acting out more like a tyrant rather than a leader that takes care of everybody or takes care of the family. You know, sometimes a man can really take care of the family and be that leader and that emperor. Also, it could also represent a woman, you know, maybe someone who's like very powerful in the corporate field, you know, and has to take on that male role, and just it's not going well, and just kind of overruling, more tyrannical. So there's someone in the picture, in the relationship, that is like that. And then the next card is the Page of Pentacles. This is this is the kind of page that likes to study. This is an earth sign. This is somebody, a young person that has a message about money. And it's coming slowly because it is upside down. So this is a message coming to you involving not just money, but security, your home environment, your, you know, could even be a message at work. You know, it's not career, but it's more like things that give you security and substance. So there's somebody has a message about that, but it may not be the one you want to hear. But you should take heart and listen, because there is something to know that's very important about this page, all right? Because they always bring messages. And the final outcome is the Seven of Coins. And so I have a feeling when I put these cards together, that this relationship, you know, has a lot to do with security between the Emperor, the Page of Pentacles, and of course, the Seven of Pentacles is someone that's worked really hard and is waiting for something to grow. They've put a lot of labor in, they've put a lot of effort into creating security, and it's not quite working out. So what I'm seeing in this reading, and I'm sad to say, I mean, it is hard. We do go through difficult times, but it looks like whoever was the one, the provider, the emperor in the family or the emperor in the relationship, is not acting right, is kind of like being extremely bossy and overruling and not living up to their part. And perhaps there's a child, perhaps someone very young, and there's an issue with money. There's a message about that, and it's really difficult for to build that nest egg. You know, that it's kind of fallen through. So in that case, you know, you just start to say, what can I do to turn this around? What can I do to rebuild this part of my life? It does require quite a bit of self-reflection. So let's go and see what the oracle messages are for all four. Okay? So if you picked number one, this mystifying moonstone, your oracle message is, let your friends help you. Ask for and accept support from others. Let your friends help you. Ask and accept support from others. That is your oracle message. If you have picked the crystal ball, your oracle message is about romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. Now, this did come up reversed, which is unusual for this deck. So there may be some kind of like a block in letting this happen easily. So but your feelings are real and worth exploring if you picked the crystal ball. And if you picked the mermaid, your oracle message is about deception. Someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. And there is a block to seeing this deception for some reason because it was reversed. But there is deception. And if you pick the hand of protection, wow, this is interesting because I know that last reading was really a difficult one. It talks about reconciliation. Someone from your past is returning to your life because it kind of looked like in that last reading, like that would be, you'd be going through a very hard time and maybe the relationship isn't going to work out because the Emperor is acting like a tyrant. So maybe it's just kind of like saying, have hope because someone from your past is returning to your life. And this person really has your back. You see that? In the last reading, that Emperor did not have your back and maybe causing a lot of problems in the home life and with security as well as the peace in the home. And this is showing you a beautiful outcome in the future. We don't know when in the future. I'm so sad to say. The only way to know for sure the timing of something is to consult an astrologer. All right, so I thank you. I thank you so much for tuning in to my Pickacard on current romantic interest. And I hope that gives you some decision about whether to stay with someone or not, what you want to do, gives you some insight, because it sounded like all the people that contacted me were kind of newer in the relationship. Didn't sound like anybody was talking about their husbands. So you let me know. Please, 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 please hit the like button, unsubscribe, and share. And please comment so I know how you feel. And I hope you enjoyed listening to this reading. Thank you so much for joining the Dancing Oracle with Najia.